The notion that the mainstream media uses global warming to oppress Christians is a concept that has gained significant attention in recent years. While it may seem like a far-fetched idea, there are some arguments that suggest a correlation between the two. It is essential to note that this is not a universally accepted concept and is often viewed as a conspiracy theory. However, for the sake of discussion, let's explore this idea in more detail. One argument is that the mainstream media often portrays Christians as being anti-science and opposed to environmental protection. This portrayal can be seen in a way that some media outlets cover Christians' views on climate change. For instance, some media outlets may focus on the small minority of Christians who deny the existence of climate change, while ignoring the many Christians who are actively working to protect the environment. The selective reporting can create a negative stereotype of Christians, implying that they are not concerned about the well-being of the planet. Another argument is that the mainstream media often uses global warming as a means to push a secular agenda. Some Christians believe that the emphasis on environmentalism and climate change is a way to undermine traditional Christian values and promote a more secular worldview. For example, some environmental activists may argue that the solution to climate change lies in reducing population growth, which can be seen as a challenge to Christian teachings on the importance of family and procreation. Additionally, the emphasis on individual responsibility and moral obligation to protect the environment can be seen as a way to promote a more secular moral framework, which may be at odds with traditional Christian teachings. Furthermore, some Christians argue that the mainstream media's coverage of global warming is often sensationalized and exaggerated, which can create a sense of fear and anxiety among the public. This can be particularly problematic for Christians, who are taught to trust in God's providence and sovereignty over the world. The constant barrage of negative news and apocalyptic predictions can create a sense of hopelessness and despair, which can be damaging to one's faith. Moreover, the emphasis on human agency and collective action to combat climate change can be seen as a way to undermine the Christian notion of God's sovereignty over the natural world. It's also worth noting that some Christians believe that the mainstream media's focus on global warming is a way to distract from more pressing social and moral issues. For example, some argue that the emphasis on climate change can be used to divert attention away from issues such as abortion, same-sex marriage, and religious freedom. By focusing on a perceived external threat, such as climate change, the media can avoid discussing more contentious and divisive issues that are closer to the hearts of many Christians. In addition, the mainstream media's coverage of global warming often ignores the fact that many Christians are actively working to protect the environment. For instance, organizations such as the Evangelical Environmental Network and the Christian Conservation Association are working to promote environmental stewardship and sustainability from a Christian perspective. These efforts are often overlooked by the mainstream media, which can perpetuate the stereotype that Christians are anti-environmental. In conclusion, while the idea that the mainstream media uses global warming to oppress Christians may seem far-fetched, there are some arguments that suggest a correlation between the two. The selective reporting, secular agenda, sensationalism, and distraction from social and moral issues are all factors that contribute to this perception. However, it's essential to note that this is not a universally accepted concept and is often viewed as a conspiracy theory. Nevertheless, it's crucial to acknowledge the concerns of Christians who feel that their views and values are being misrepresented or marginalized in the mainstream media's coverage of global warming. By engaging in open and respectful dialogue, we can work to promote a more nuanced understanding of the complex relationships between faith, science, and the environment.